Hey guys, so the topic of today's video is about, what was it again? How we either take things too seriously or we don't take them seriously enough. And how we're constantly mirroring other people on all aspects of our personality, but this one is especially interesting to me right now. So why does the kid have to be the class clown? Why does he feel that need? Or why do we feel the need to laugh about certain things? Or when somebody takes themselves really seriously, that just makes us want to laugh. Or when somebody has a really strong opinion, we want to play devil's advocate. That's because we constantly are mirroring people. And so other people want to awaken us, and we want to awaken other people as well. So every interaction is a potential, if you see what's going on and you understand the mirroring that's going on, to awaken. And so, as I said, one of the most interesting things to me right now is the person who takes himself so seriously, is very educated and intellectual, hard-nosed, and the person who just completely makes fun of everything and is the comic relief. And so there are pitfalls to being either one of those. And so in spirituality, you want to be able to go back and forth between the two. Never take yourself so seriously and never think that anything is so sacred or that the work you're doing is so important that you can't let loose and you can't enjoy other people or let other people distract you or anything like that. Like, that's not accepting what is. At the same time, if we are too busy laughing at things to get the deep emotion, to get the raw understanding from them, if we're too busy laughing at people, if you notice about life, the things like death and sexuality, the things we joke about the most are the things that make us the most uncomfortable. So it can definitely be an avoidance strategy, but at the same time, like, some of the deepest realizations you have, you will just laugh and laugh and laugh. And so neither one of these things can be forgotten about. And so to be one of those people who can cross between the two, who knows when one is called for and when the other would be wiser, is the best thing to do. And so you'll notice when you hang out with certain people, when you have conversations with certain people, like which side they sort of like push you into being. And so this has been a pattern throughout my life. I've been usually like really attracted to people who are really smart, who are smarter than me. I like people who sort of like push me in that way, but oftentimes they don't seem very open to their sense of humor. And so I feel like there's no air in the room, and so often that makes me like overly joking and not taking the situation seriously, and sometimes offending them. And so it can be a hard balance to strike, and it's almost as if, like, in our mirroring, we are designed to trigger other people. And so one of the incredible things I've had the privilege of taking part in is conversations with people with the understanding that our relationship and our conversation is mirroring, and that what they're bringing up and the negative reactions they're bringing up is not their fault, but is something in us that we need to be seen. And so we actually are kind of like seeking out each other to hurt each other so that we can find where our pain points are, find those unconscious parts of the ego that we haven't yet sought out, haven't yet integrated. You can start to have some really incredible conversations with people, but at the same time, it can be really difficult and really volatile. And so knowing when to step back and knowing when to sort of do self-care and also like show those people that you care about them and sort of come back to that part is really important too. And one thing I would like to see within spiritual communities is more of this happen. And I haven't, honestly, like, tell me if there are places where this occurs, places where people have conversations. That was always one of the things about like the church setting or the teacher-student setting that I didn't really like. And ironically, like right now I'm talking to you. You can talk to me in comments, and like I said, I'm pretty active on the actualize.org forum, and I follow Leo's videos. So check out that place if you want to have a conversation on the forum or comment me. But if we have that sort of understanding with people and we have like in person, that's what I'd like to see, is like how that works in person, or how that could work like in a community when you have two people with understanding that they are honestly just a reflection, and it's more than an intellectual understanding, and that's a hard part to get beyond. And so like intellectually we know that we're each other's mirrors, but we're constantly falling out of that, constantly getting mad at each other as if there isn't each other to be mad at. And so that's why it's much harder than you'd think. And so this is like the holy grail of relationships, and to have like an in-person relationship and friendship, or to have an entire community with people where they have the understanding that they are truly one, non-dual, like that is just an idea, sort of like utopia, pie in the sky kind of thing I'd like to figure out. If you know of a community, I know there's tons of communities, spiritual communities around the world, mention to me in the comments. But yeah, seek out, because we're constantly, like, this is the biggest point in our lives, is not being able to connect with other people. And so when you understand the mirroring and you go into relationships with the goal of like knowing yourself and connecting as yourself, that is what we are all seeking for. And that's what why friendships and like our family members and everything kind of seems to like fall short, why we're always sort of, a lot of us are looking for more. And oftentimes in a new relationship, it's kind of easy to see that, easy to have that like shared respect with each other, and we don't really have a whole lot of judgments about the other person built up. And so that's kind of the strange thing, is that it's an easier thing to do with somebody that you don't know as well. But if you can do that with like family member, with a spouse, if you can like bring that into your relationship, that's another thing that I'm really trying to work on, which is interesting because my husband, he is into spirituality, and like a lot of the things he just inherently gets more than me. Like I have the there's really like polarized, fiery personality where I get really angry and upset about things. You can't play board games with me. I'm just like, it gets to the point where I get really mad. I'll just throw like the cards in the air and storm off. So he's more like the settled kind of personality, but he doesn't have like the passion about spirituality that I do, and so he hasn't done as much of the reading, and he's more like focused on everyday life, kind of like average kind of thing. But at the same time, like, we're a good couple because he brings me back into reality, and oftentimes I just am too impatient to like figure out like the common sense aspect of life and how things should work. And so like he's my mirror, and we're attracted to people who are our mirrors. And so with your spouse, with anybody, someone who like coworker you hate, anyone, just like go into that interaction realizing that they are you. and like anything that and negative emotions they bring up is something that's like, ooh, you're hot, like the Easter egg is right there. And so if you can like kind of get excited about that instead of like being a turtle and going into your shell, but getting excited about that and like really contemplating and doing the inner work, going back and doing the meditation, figuring out what that is that triggered you, and realizing that they're your mirror, and then like bringing the presence into the communication, bringing like that true like body awareness, like have, like Eckhart Tolle says, have like sort of you're thinking, you're speaking, but at the same time, like you have this awareness, like in the body, you have this centered awareness. And that is that's what we're practicing in that kind of connection. That's what we're practicing with all our relationships. So I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. There will be a lot more videos in the future on spirituality, and I like to make things as like on subjects that I'm contemplating at the same time, and so we grow together. We truly are a community and we mirror each other, and so I'm happy to have you be a part of my tiny little YouTube community, and thank you for that. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.